Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to jump in real quick, and I'm not going to stay long, but I wanted to talk about Sunny Hostin. Sunny Hostin at The View. As you know, Sunny Hostin really got a lot of attention lately because she spoke up about the Haitian border crisis. And Sunny did a great job of representing the struggle that many Haitians were experiencing on our border from, a guy that's becoming known as Jim Crow Joe and President Joe Biden. And so there's been an update on the Sunny Hostin situation in terms of what happened. And you may or may not know this, but I'll give you a brief update of what happened. Sunny Hostin was on The View, and she really represented on the whole Haitian issue. She really spoke up on behalf of the people from Haiti. They're being stuck at the border. She made it clear that people were being treated this way because they were Haitian. And a lot of people were really surprised because she really represented. And what happened is, like in a lot of cases, she has a personal connection. Apparently, her husband, who happens to be a brilliant surgeon, is Haitian. So Sonny Hostin's husband, and I got his name in front of me. Let me pull it up so I can give respect to the brother. Is Haitian. So, in case you don't know, what happened shortly after was Sunny was scheduled. Let me know if you can still hear me. Give me a yes if you can hear me. Okay, I'm in an awkward spot, but Sunny, her and her Haitian husband. So she had basically went and represented Haiti to the fullest on The View, and she was scheduled to speak that day, from what I understand, with Vice President Kamala Harris. So Sunny Hostin, a black woman, was going to confront Kamala Harris, a black, well, kind of Jamaican, whatever she is. I don't know what that ethnicity she is this week. Kamala, and they both look like black women. They both, one's an AKA and went to an HBCU, so I guess in the minds of some that makes her automatically black. Either way, The View had a problem, right? They were going to have to deal with two smart black women going at it on their show. And guess what? Lo and behold, just out of the blue, as if it was a miracle from white Jesus, Sunny tests positive for the virus. Do y'all remember that? Did y'all see that? Where Sunny suddenly pops up with a positive COVID test, right? And everybody's like, yeah, right. Oh yeah, so the COVID just happened to jump in and make itself seen right when y'all needed it the most, right? When y'all needed to find a reason, an excuse to get this lady off stage, that's when the COVID pops in. So, so the COVID pops in and gets her off stage. Well, it turns out, surprise, surprise, that the test was a false positive. Sunny and her co-host Ana Navarro were both vaccinated, and both of them had several negative COVID tests. Right? They had both had several negative tests, and so what ultimately happened was they were like, "Oh, sorry, my bad. We made a mistake. We thought you had COVID, but we were wrong. Sorry." Well, Sunny's really pissed right now. Sunny is actually coming back and making a lot of interesting statements about it. And this is in People. This is why I wanted to jump in and tell you guys about this because I think it's worth checking out. So the title of the article in People is that let's see, Sunny Hostin's surgeon husband was pulled out of the operating room during the COVID chaos at The View. And it says Sunny Hostin is still reeling from the moment she and Ana Navarro were pulled off stage during Friday's broadcast of The View after both falsely testing positive for COVID-19. The four-time Emmy Award nominee, 52, opened up on Monday's show about the real-life ramifications that followed after their test results were revealed on live television. Hostin and frequent guest host Ana Navarro, 49, who are both fully vaccinated, have since tested negative multiple times. After thanking viewers for the outpouring of love and support she received over the weekend, Hostin said, quote, "It was really uncomfortable for my results to be released publicly before I even knew what was going on, before they were verified, and before I was tested again and again." Now, give me a yes or no. Give me a yes or no. How many of y'all think it's a bunch of BS? I mean, seriously, how many of y'all? I mean, I want to see if there's anybody out here that believes even an ounce of what they're saying. I mean, think about this, and I mean, shout out to Sunny Hostin. I mean, I guess not all the Hollywood celebrity types are fake. I mean, she's really trying to keep it real. My speculation is that Sunny already knows that she's now going to get put into the black woman category, the angry black woman category, which means she will be fired on her day off. They're going to treat her like a black man. She's going to be fired on her day off. So Sunny knows she ain't got a job, right? Sunny knows that she's on her way out at The View. So what I think we're seeing in live action, I'm not sure. I don't even watch The View, honestly, because I think the show's kind of stupid. I'm not going. I can't lie. I like Sunny, but I don't like The View. I think The View's corny. But it's almost like she's talking like a person who just knows that she ain't gonna have no job and really doesn't care. Like, and I just love that. Like, there's nothing more fun than to watch a black person really tell you about yourself when they don't really care that they're gonna lose their job. And it's great to see it happen like on national TV. Like that's really awesome. So Sunny basically said a few things, and you should go look up the article. It's really good. It's in People magazine. And basically she was talking about how her husband, who is a surgeon, they couldn't take the chance that he had been exposed to the virus. So they took him out of surgery. He was pulled out of surgery over this one-time test that wasn't even verified, that they released without her permission. Think about it. Does this violate some kind of HIPAA thing? You know, HIPAA is that thing where the medical thing where you're not supposed to go tell anybody's medical situation publicly. I don't know if there's a HIPAA law violation there. I didn't know that they can do that they can literally just test you for the virus and then announce to the whole world that you're infected and not even let you know what's going on. So I really wonder if there's legal ramifications here. And I'm gonna tell you the straight up truth. Okay, somebody says it does violate HIPAA. Yeah, that's crazy, right? So she's basically, in my view, it sounds like she's accusing them of a blatant violation of HIPAA, which means they can be sued. I'm sure her Haitian surgeon husband has a few things to say. I'd love to hear what he's got to say. They had to take her kids out of school. And I'm tripping because they did all of this based on a one-time test that wasn't even verified. That's how desperate they were, in my opinion, to make sure that she did not confront Kamala Harris. That's what I believe what this is all about. This was we don't want this outspoken, honest black woman on TV. We do not want her to have access to a platform to share her voice with the world. We don't want to hear what she has to say. So we're going to keep the game going, keep the propaganda game going. And this is like a little bit of a taste of the reality of what millions of black people are feeling. That's why millions of you that they'll never let on The View, they'll never let on TV. Like you'll never see Boyce Watkins on The View or any of that stuff. And I don't even know what I would even look like going on that show. I don't know what I would say. I don't know anything about like fall fashions and whatever stupid shit they talk about, right? So I don't really want to go on The View. I don't care about that. But I'm just sitting here just laughing my butt off kind of watching this go down because the emperor has no clothes. And I guess they feel, the way propaganda and government kind of works is they'll do some stuff that appears to be blatantly fraudulent right in front of your face, and they don't really care. Like for example, when the Haitian president just miraculously gets killed, and of course nobody knows who did it, but yet there were CIA operatives in the space that were identified, and also people in Haiti are being fired from their jobs because they're accusing the current prime minister of helping to organize his murder. And then the vaccines. Now that part I can't verify, but from what I was seeing, like they started bringing those doses right into Haiti as soon as he's gone. I'm not saying this is what's going on. I'm just saying that when you see that much smoke, you can't help but wonder, okay, is there some fire going on with that smoke? And if that's the case, why isn't anybody doing anything about it? I mean, so what's interesting about the United States is that we're kind of this country that runs around and we condemn other nations for not protecting the freedoms of its people, right? We'll call it, another country's president. We'll say he's a monster, he's a terrible person, and we're going to go invade this country to liberate its people from this horrible monster of a dictator who is violating human rights. Well, I would say in America, we got a lot of monsters. And, we don't have any dictators, but we got a lot of monsters. We also have a lot of human rights violations, and particularly when you're talking about this idea in New York. We were talking about this before. My wife Alicia and I were talking about this. We're two smart black people, like Sunny and her husband. Maybe one day we'll all meet each other because I think they sound like pretty cool people to sit and have dinner with. And the thing about it is that we were just sitting here kind of trying to figure out at what point does the corruption kind of get dealt with? At what point do you have honest conversations, and instead of continuously doing things in an authoritarian way, which only serves to make people more resistant to whatever you're trying to get them to do? Like, I don't think they realize that the more they push their agenda, the more people push back. The more they lie to the public, the more the public is going to call you a liar. And I bet every nickel on my bank account that, think about this. It's one thing if you made a mistake and Sonny gets a false positive. It's another thing when you took that false positive and you ran with it. You ran with it like Sha'Carri Richardson at the Olympics. Like, you ran with that shit to the end of the block. You ran at 50 miles down the. You said, we got to get everybody out of the building, get Sonny off the stage, get everybody. We got to get our kids out of school, take her husband out of surgery. Like, you did all that, and you didn't even have a verified result. So that means either you are incredibly corrupt or you are incredibly, incredibly stupid. Because if she's had several negative tests, now pay attention now, Sonny had several negative tests before the positive test. So don't you think, I mean, give me a yes or no, does it make sense to at least test again? Just to be sure. I mean, after all, you're going to announce to a million people and you're about to pull her husband out of surgery and her kids out of school and disrupt this lady's life and disrupt a lot of stuff. I mean, disrupt your show. Like, right there, you're going to lose a lot of money because you're killing your show. Don't you think it would make sense to at least make sure before you start taking all these drastic actions? Or were you in such a rush to get Sonny off the stage that you just didn't give a fuck? And I understand that. And the reason I'm probably a little bit triggered over this is because I understand that, right? Like, I'm the Negro that has been rushed off stage before. Let me tell you a little story. I haven't told this story much because I'm not out trying to hate on nobody or nothing. But let me tell y'all a little story. One time, about 12 years ago, I was advocating for a sister named Kelly Ellis. I believe that was her name. And if y'all been following me for a minute, if you've been following me for more than a decade, you might remember the Kelly Ellis story, because this was 2009. So we were going to Kelly to help Kelly Ellis because Kelly was a young black college student who cut in line at a Walmart and ended up getting arrested because I guess there was an argument that ensued. And she's a daughter of a pastor, straight A student, no criminal record. And they were trying to give her 15 years in prison because the police had basically beat her ass out front and then acted like she was the one who did something wrong. And then when it came time for them to, when they went to Walmart and said, hey, Walmart, we'd like to see the surveillance video of what happened. Kelly saying that the police attacked her in front of the building. Maybe the surveillance video will clear that up. Well, you know what Walmart said? Walmart said, oh, well, we don't have any surveillance video. And they're like, but Walmart, you have surveillance on everything. Like, if people shoplift your products, you got surveillance on that. You watch the parking lots. You mean you didn't have anything? And they're like, no, normally we have our video, but for some reason the video just wasn't working that day. We don't know what happened because we Walmart and we just don't know how to do business because we did stupid, right? So we know that they were on some bullshit, right? We knew they were on some nonsense. And so check this out. So the Kelly Ellis story got national attention. It became a big story in media. It was on CNN, USA Today, ABC News, all the major media outlets. And so, the bandwagon people, they kind of jump on, whenever they see a civil rights thing kind of happening, it gives them a chance to feel hip and cool. So we got a call to appear and talk about Kelly on the Tom Joyner Morning Show. So let me tell you what happened on the Tom Joyner Morning Show. This tells you, this is my little Negro being rushed off the stage story, so I can understand what probably happened to Sonny Hostin. Because when you start telling too much truth and you black, then black people who tell the truth are a threat to national security. And so here's what happened. So I go on the Tom Joyner Morning Show, right? And we start talking, and I'm telling Tom the story. Tom's like, so what's going on with this Kelly Ellis thing? I'm like, yeah, man, let me tell you what happened. Blah 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 blah. And then they did this, and then they and then she got arrested for that, and then they try to send her to prison for this and that and the other. And he's like, listen, like, really? And then what happened? And I'm telling him everything that happened, right? So then check this out. We get to the point where I start telling them the real stuff. Like, I'm like, yeah, well, Walmart has surveillance video, and we've been trying to get Walmart to release the surveillance video, but they keep saying the video got somehow miraculously lost, right? Which was bullshit. They just didn't want to get sued. And so lo and behold, I didn't realize that Walmart was one of the corporate sponsors of the Tom Joyner Morning Show. So you could have literally stuck a pin right in the very moment when Tom was like, holy shit, we got this guy talking shit about Walmart, and Walmart pays our bills. And you know how Negro gets real shuffled with his foot, gets real foot shuffling when it's time to like protect that money, right? When when that white man's money's good, them butter biscuits are delicious, right? So he got the foot shuffling real fast, like, oh, Dr. Watkins, it was great to have you, man. It was really good. The music is playing over my voice. I'm like, but no, Tom, wait a minute. There's more. Like let me tell you what Walmart did. Like they really did. No, well, all right, Dr. Watkins, that was great. Yeah, everybody go support Kelly Else, blah, blah. And they push me off faster than you can say, where's the rest of my biscuits? Like that's how fast they took me off the stage. And that was a learning experience for me in the sense of understanding how people will use whatever corruption is necessary to protect their power and to protect their damn money. That's my point. Right? Like get it out of your head. I don't know how many of y'all are younger than me. I'm 50, right? So I'm not a kid. So some of y'all might be in your 20s or your 30s. And let me just, in case you haven't figured this out yet, the world is not a fairy tale. You grow up, you believe, like, if I do the right thing and I work hard and I'm a good person and I'm nice to people, that the world's going to be nice to me back. Or if I tell the truth, then the world's going to be honest with me. Or if I have truth on my side, then I can win because I got truth on my side. That's just not true. That's just not true. People in power lie. They'll lie, steal, and kill to protect their power, right? And so effectively, if you want to know where my healthy skepticism of government comes from, it's because if you look at the track record of this government, as well as many governments around the country, the United States is not alone in their corruption. Let's just be clear. Like, we're not the only corrupt country on the planet. I've told you guys about things they've done in China. In Britain, they got MI6. MI6 detained me when I went to London, by the way, because I guess I was being a little too black. So they literally detained me and told me I could not use my cell phone and locked me in a room for no reason, right? Like, so this is real. Like, this is real. This really exists. And I personally think, here's my prediction for Sunny Hostin. I believe Sunny Hostin is a goner on The View. If Sunny Hostin has a job at The View in 1 year, then I will suck my own toe on the internet. I don't. Well, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. That would just look weird, and I can't. I'm probably not even that flexible. But seriously, like, I don't think Sunny Hostin's gonna have a job next year. I think Sunny Hostin's gonna be out of there. Like, girl, you need to go ahead and file for that unemployment. Well, I assume your surgeon husband. I assume y'all's money's good. So, Sunny, shout out to Sunny. God bless Sunny, though, because she's in a position where she has, made a decision to realize that your principles matter more than your position. That being on TV with a bunch of ignorant ladies on The View, which they're ignorant, not all of them, but the stuff they talk about is stupid. It's not real stuff. It's not the stuff black people benefit from. That's why most of my friends don't watch it. That there's more important work out here for Sunny to be doing, right? Haiti's a whole country that has immeasurable amounts of suffering. Every single day, there are, I assume, thousands of children in Haiti that are starving to death, dying from curable diseases, going through a type of hell that we can never imagine our own children going through. I mean, this is happening every single day in Haiti. So if you would have asked me, just from a point of common sense, I know common sense is not common anymore. I know that people think that being famous and being on TV and having white people's money is the most important thing in the world. But from a position of common sense, I would imagine that saving black children, starving children in Haiti, is far more important than going on that stupid TV show that smart people don't even watch. I'm not hating on The View. If you like The View, that's okay. But like what do they do? They talk about cocktail parties and what color shoes so and so wore to the Met Gala. I don't know. I mean, they just don't talk about anything that's actually going to move the needle in terms of reducing the amount of suffering that our people are experiencing around the world. So I think Sunny, I assume that her husband, the surgeon, and she have provided enough income and wealth in their own family that she probably doesn't need the job. She's getting, she's had her taste of celebrity. You get enough of that "look, mama, I made it," type thing where you get to go on TV. And I am just really ecstatic over the idea that Sunny has decided to pursue a more important, more significant purpose, because I can only imagine if she had run it by, let's say she'd run it by a couple of Negro naysayers, like, hey, I'm thinking about bringing up the Haitian issue on the show. What do you think? And I'm sure they would have said, well, they would have got the coons explaining, well, the money good on this show, Sonny. And if you do that, you're going to lose your spot because they're going to give your job to somebody else. And then you won't be able to be on the TV no more. You won't be on the TV no more. Right. And I think Sonny, I think it's really awesome that her and her husband, who I assume is brilliant because he's a surgeon, decided, you know what, to hell with that. Like, we're gonna fight for something that actually means something, and I'm really awe inspired by her honesty, the way she's been on the show and she's been sort of speaking her truth, and she told everybody what happened and all of that, and she's holding it down. I mean, I didn't even know the lady had it in her. I don't know anything about Sunny Hostin's history. And I think that whenever I see, let me just tell you what my philosophy is and why I'm even talking about Sunny Hostin right now. I did not know anything about this lady probably before last week. I knew the name, but I knew nothing else about her. But I'm gonna find out more. The reason I'm talking about Sunny Hostin now is because we have to get in the habit as Black people of running to the aid and to the defense of other Black people who get out there and step into the line of fire. When you see a person that looks like you, who is out there putting it on the line for the things that you believe in, don't you be you should not, and you better not be that sorry weak ass son of a bitch who just sits back with their popcorn and watches it all go down. Do you understand? Going back to slavery, you had the slaves that would try to revolt and say, all right, everybody, let's go kill Massa. We gonna go get Massa. So one slave runs out there to go get Massa, and they're like, Massa only got 2 guns. They can't kill us all, right? And that slave runs out there, and everybody sits back and watch that one slave get shot. Right. But if all 200 of y'all ran at mass at the same time and knew that, okay, 12 of us is going to get 12 of us are going to get a bullet, but the other 188 of us are going to be just fine, we're going to get freedom, then that's a hell of a good trade-off if you can find your way to believing in something bigger than yourself. So Sunny, to me, is that's my hero of the week, because she's believing in something bigger than herself, and she's been called to battle. She married this man from Haiti, who, shout out to him. I mean, he could have been, some elitist who didn't care about the poor, but he does. He cares about his country. And that's what leaders are supposed to do. You're supposed to go out there and fight for your damn people, man. And so when you see him out there, like, in the line of fire, and that's why I'm talking about Sunny Hostin, because I said, woo, she's going to need some help. She's going to need backup on top of backup, because y'all know that they coming to get her, and you can't just sit back and pray for her, right? Like, that's people do. I'm going to pray for you because they're going to come get you, girl. No, don't just sit back and pray for her. Like, do something. Like, so I'm like, okay, what can I do? Well, I can sit here and I can use my little platform to at least make it clear that Sunny Hostin has at least one person that reaches about 1 million people a week on my different YouTube channels, that it has her back and thinks that what she's doing is miraculous and awesome and wonderful. And who cares what I think? I'm just I'm not a mainstream guy. I never want to be, but at least my voice is 100% full-throated, completely, without a doubt, without a stutter, behind Sunny Hostin and everything that she's doing right now. And I encourage you to just kind of pay attention, and you can kind of understand how things work. Because I personally think also that the Biden administration needs to be challenged a little bit. I think that they're rational enough politicians that I think that when they start seeing Black people growing some balls and getting a little bolder and coming at them a little harder, I honestly believe while they might be frustrated with you, I think they're going to respect you a little bit more. They're going to say, damn, wait a minute. Whoa, Black people are actually demanding something for their vote, instead of just letting us use them and manipulate them like $2 hoes. Well, I guess we got to put them in the same category as we put all the other groups. We put the gay people in that category because the gay community, they'll fight for what they want. We'll treat them like we treat the Jewish community, because, I mean, the Jewish community don't play. When you mess with their people, they come get you, right? Right. So they'll just kind of put you in a different category, right? And it doesn't mean it's not a bad thing. Like, I think that a lot of us are in this weird, horribly awkward, impossible position of trying to fight white supremacy and maintain favor with the oppressor at the same time. And you just can't do that. It's like if the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Buffalo Bills and they're trying to, play smash mouth football and win the game while at the same time making friends with the Buffalo Bills. Like, that's just not a good objective. You probably can't do both. You can't be friends with your enemy and be enemies with your enemy at the same damn time, right? So I'm just gonna say this. My wife just walked in, and when the most beautiful woman in the world steps into the building, you have to stop and bow. So I'm gonna spend time with my wife, and she and I are gonna talk more about this. And I'm also super proud of Sunny Hostin, and I'm gonna keep following this because it looks to me like it's really gonna get heated. Because I would be really surprised if the things that she's saying publicly about why they took her off the stage and how they did it. I'd be really surprised if this was authorized. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe The View believes in freedom of speech that much. That would be extremely rare because The View, or just in general, we're not in exactly a freedom of speech era. And I really think Sunny's kind of gone rogue. So shout out to Sunny Hostin, girl. If you listen to this, if anybody passes this video to Sunny, I don't know, I don't know who follows me, and there are people who know people. So if somebody knows Sunny, you pass this video to her, just say, hey, Voice is rooting for you, and the whole B1 Nation is rooting for you. And I think that a lot of people in Haiti, in my view, are going to benefit tremendously from the fact that she and her husband are willing to sacrifice for the people that matter. So that's my 2 cents on the issue. I'm out of here, guys. Please have a wonderful day. God bless you. Thank you for listening. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. And also, last but not least, if you want to support the platform, you can go to intelligentblackpeople.com. We'd love to have your support as a patron. So feel free to go take a look. I'll talk to you guys later. Be good. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. Peace.